Morning, everyone, to this meeting of League City Toastmasters. I'm glad that each of you are here today. We've got an exciting meeting, even though it's a little drizzly outside. It's bright inside. I see bright colors in Megan's backdrop and Jason's backdrop and Alicia's backdrop, my backdrop. I see lots of shades of yellow. So anyways, it's a bright day here in League City, Texas. So we're going to continue with our meeting. My name is Scott Livingston. I'm the president of League City Toastmasters, and I'm glad that each of you are here today. And with that, let's continue with our introductions with your name and your title or association with our club. Please, let's go to you, Alicia.
Yes, I am Alicia Lamborghini West. I am the Vice President for Education.
Thank you, Alicia. Fantastic. And let's go to Megan. Please introduce yourself, Megan.
Good morning, everyone. I am Megan Lemaster, and I am the Vice President of Membership.
Fantastic. Thank you, Megan. And let's go to Aaron Peshik. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Aaron Peshik, and I'm the treasurer for the League City Toastmasters.
Fantastic. Thank you, Aaron. Glad you're here today. And with that, let's go to our timer. Elizabeth, are you there? Okay, sometimes Elizabeth steps away. She's got family members for...
Good morning.
Hey,
I'm Elizabeth. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Fantastic. Thank you. And let's see. Okay, Megan stepped away. Okay, Jason, please introduce yourself.
Hi, Jason Suchecki. I've been a member now for 2 months, and that is me.
Great. Welcome. I'm glad you're here, Jason. Glad that each of you are here. I don't think I've missed anyone. I don't see any guests today. So let's go ahead and continue with our meeting. So at this time, I'm looking at the agenda, and before I hand it off to our Toastmaster, who is Aaron, just real quick, I want to make sure I don't forget to say that we're going to have a club officer election, not at our next meeting, but in 2 meetings, which basically would be May the 14th. So our next meeting will be April the 30th. After that, our meeting will be May the 14th. And at that time, we'll have a club election. We've already put together a nominating committee. The nominating committee's been busy talking to people, trying to line up people for roles and so forth. And I know that I need to contact Aaron. Otherwise, everyone else has been contacted. So just heads up. In fact, I'll put it out in an email that basically says we're going to have an election coming up in May. The other thing too, just a little cleanup. We do have officer meetings. I believe it's the second Tuesday of each month. So our next officers meeting is going to be on May the 11th. I'll send out a reminder. The next thing too is that with our agendas, the way that we've got it set up, everyone signs up in advance, and then whatever's left, we get together at 8:15 the morning of, and we put the rest of the details together. It seems to work pretty well, especially for a busy club like ours. The next thing I want to do is challenge people to continue to stay abreast of their progress and pathways. I know I've kind of stalled out, but want to remember to stay true to ourselves and continue in pathways. And the last thing I was going to say is that with respect to staying in touch with our members, instead of keeping an email distribution list and Outlook, we're going to start migrating all that over to Free Toast Toast. So our agenda, our new member roster, our old member roster, and our guest roster will all be housed in Free Toast Toast. Anyways, that's it. And with that, I'll hand the baton over to Aaron Peshik as our Toastmaster of the day. Welcome, Aaron, to the podium.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for the introduction. And so as Toastmaster of the day, it's my responsibility to introduce today's speakers. I know we don't have any lined up for today, so it'll probably be just our table topics for today. After the speeches have concluded, I'll ask for the timer's report, request ballots be passed to the vote counter, introduce the general evaluator, ask the counter for their report, ask the grammarian for their report, and call for the vote counter results. I'll then return control of the meeting to the president before we conclude for today. So with that, we'll just go through the introductions for the roles for today. And Elizabeth, you're the timer. What is your role as a timer?
My role as timer is to track time for each segment and participant in the meeting. A green card will be signaled when the qualifying time has been reached, at midpoint a yellow, and then a red at 30 seconds remaining. After 30 seconds, the participant is disqualified. I will give a timer's report after each meeting segment. Thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Next, we have Megan Lemaster, who is our grammarian. Can you explain your role, please?
Sure. As the grammarian, I will select and introduce the word of the day, provide a definition, and use it in a sentence. I will be listening for interesting uses of words, phrases, or grammar, and I will be tracking your use of the word of the day. Today's word is lodestone. Let me see if I'm holding this up correctly. So, lodestone is magnetite possessing polarity or something that strongly attracts.
Can you hold it up a little bit? Oh, no, raise it up. Oh, something that strongly attracts. Okay, there it is. Keep going.
Yes. So just as a new business district might be a magnet for entrepreneurs, or a poor soul might be a magnet for bad luck, lodestone sees similar figurative use describing things with seeming power to attract. So an example in a sentence: the city was a lodestone of rock and roll and rhythm and blues innovation, describing Memphis. Also, today I will be serving as the counter. I will be listening for crutch and filler words, such as from all members, and I will count each occurrence up to a maximum of 5 per speaker. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Megan. Yeah, I saw that you were the counter in the agenda just after I introduced you as grammarian. So thank you for rolling right into that. And Scott, you are the ballot counter for today. Can you go over your responsibilities, please?
Yes, my job is to create a poll for the best prepared speaker or speakers, also to create a poll for the best evaluator of multiple evaluators, and also to create a poll for the best table topics speaker. So since today we don't have any prepared speeches and we don't have more than one evaluator, I'll just have a poll for the best table topic speaker. And what I'll do is create that poll with all the participants in the table topics competition, and then we'll all vote, and then I'll break any ties, and then I'll reveal the results at the end of the meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Scott. So because we don't have any speakers lined up for today, I'm going to roll through the agenda down to the Toastmaster returns, which was about 9:13 on the agenda. So we're going to be having a lot of time to do the table topics. So we're going to roll into that, and we'll have Jason. Can you go ahead and get us started for the table topics?
Yes. So I think I'll just choose somebody randomly. I'll give them a topic, and whoever I choose, they will be able to pick the next person, and we'll just kind of roll through it that way.
Hey, just real quick, just a point of order with the timer, please give us the qualifying times just as a refresher.
Absolutely. For table topics, the minimum time is 1 minute and the maximum is 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Jason, please proceed.
Perfect. Nope. All right. I'll choose first. Let's choose Aaron. What will you be packing on your next vacation and why?
That's a very great question. Thank you, Jason. So what I will be packing for my next vacation is not really determined just yet, because we're still deciding what our next vacation is going to be. We're deciding between Colorado or South Carolina. South Carolina, we're going to be visiting friends and family for a wedding. In Colorado, we're going to go hiking. So depending on which location we go to, I could be packing a suit for a wedding, or I could be packing hiking boots for hiking. The dilemma we have as a family is we're going back and forth of whether we want to go see some dear friends and family, or take some time ourselves as a family and go off to Colorado and just kind of decompress as a family unit, wife and kids, and just spend some time in nature. It's also going to require a long road trip to Colorado. To South Carolina we would fly. So it's a really great question. I don't really have a definitive answer, but so for Colorado, I'll be packing hiking boots. For South Carolina, I'll be packing a suit. That is about as much as I can go into detail about those right now. I have never been to Colorado. We're really looking forward to go to Colorado. We don't have a destination we would picked out to go to yet. We're looking outside the Denver area, possibly Castle Rock. My wife's been to Colorado. She loves it. She can't stop talking about it, so she wants to go there. And then if we go to South Carolina, it's going to be our friends in the area of Columbia, South Carolina area. We haven't been back to South Carolina. Well, when we lived in Florida, we went to South Carolina when a hurricane came through, but that was the last time we were to South Carolina. And I really don't count that as a vacation because that was very stressful. Let's see what else. I can't see the time, so I don't know if I'm on time or not, but I'm going to wrap it up there. And I think so. Colorado, South Carolina, hiking boots or a suit. Thanks.
Very good, Aaron. That was awesome. You get to pick next.
Yes.
You get to pick next, and after you choose, I'll go with the next question.
Gotcha. Okay, Megan, you're up next.
Megan, what has been your best vacation? Well, let's label it COVID vacation, and why?
Could you repeat the question?
What's been your best COVID vacation? So vacation during COVID times, and why?
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master. Well, my best vacation during COVID times happened to be the only vacation I took during COVID times. Over last Thanksgiving, my husband and I decided to take a break from everything, and we went down to Cabo and spent Thanksgiving week on the beach at an all-inclusive in Cabo. And that was an interesting experience for both of us. We learned a couple of things. We learned that my husband is not an all-inclusive kind of guy, and traveling during a pandemic is fraught with a million different little details that we really didn't have to think about pre-pandemic times. Do I have enough masks? Do I have my hand sanitizer? Just wearing the mask in the plane, the whole thing was a very different experience from what we're used to pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. So we actually learned from that experience and decided that we're going to wait until probably the fall before we try to take any more vacations, just because the constant vigilance of being aware of wearing your mask. Am I allowed to take it off? Do I have to be wearing it? It added a layer of stress to what was supposed to be a relaxing week that was just kind of constant and omnipresent in the whole time. So it was interesting. I don't regret it. I would do it again, but it was an experience. So thank you.
Great job, Megan. You get to choose, and after you choose, I will give the next question.
Let's go with Scott.
Scott. So if you could pack one thing on your next vacation, what would that be and why?
If I could pack one thing on my next vacation, it'd be a credit card. And the reason I say that is with a credit card, you can go anywhere, you can buy anything, you can do anything. And I must say it'd be a credit card with an unlimited amount of credit. And I think I would have lots of fun. I could be gone for a long time, and with an unlimited credit, I wouldn't have to go back to work. I could travel the world. I could buy camels. I could buy planes. I could buy food. I could take my wife out to eat. I could put my kids in all kinds of camps. I could go on a safari. I could go and help people around the world. I think I would have a lot of fun on my next vacation with that one item, a credit card. And I think that that would be something fun, give me an opportunity to fill out my bucket list. And I think that that would be something that would be invigorating, something that would be a lot of fun. And hopefully it'd be a big enough balance I'd never have to come back and pay it off. I guess that would always be something that I'd have to monitor, but a lot of things to do in the world, a lot of opportunities to go to other communities, to see how other people live their lives, to check out other cultures, other foods, other countries. The world is a plethora of activity. And I think that it'd be interesting to see what kind of lodestones are in other communities, like what makes different communities tick. You know, what are the lodestones in different cultures? You know, how do they treat one another? You know, what are the lodestones in various business markets? Like, how do they conduct business? What are their values? How do they operate? So many differences around the world that I like to experience. So with my next vacation, I would take a credit card with an unlimited balance. Thank you very much.
Very good, Scott. As long as that's not my credit card you're out there spending everything with. I'll let you choose the next person. And after that, I'll choose the question.
Sorry, let's go to Alicia.
Alicia, I am going to roll with Scott's questions about unlimited funds. So your question is, if you had a credit card with unlimited funds, where would you go and why?
You got to unmute, Alicia.
There you go.
If I have a credit card with unlimited funds, I am going to go to 2 or 3 places. For example, I am going to return to Hong Kong, that I love it. Really, I love it. I am going to go again to China, to the Great Wall. I went to China when China was still poor, but now it's an explosion. So I want to go again to China, and then to go to my home, my first home. I have the United States, my second home. So my first home, that is Argentina, that is Buenos Aires. So I will do this triangle to Hong Kong, China, and then to Buenos Aires, to go in the street, walking in the street and going to theaters and all kind of fun things that you can do in Buenos Aires. And then I am going to invite people to go with me, since I have an unlimited power credit card. I am going to invite friends or family or new friends to go with me and enjoy these beautiful things. So I am looking forward to this vacation. It is kind of a long, loud stand for me, very attractive thing, your question, Jason. Thank you very much for your question. Thank you.
Great job, Alicia. All right. I will let you choose the next person, and I will again choose the question.
Yeah, I am going to choose you. Yeah.
So then I'll let somebody else choose the question.
I would say let's go to the Toastmaster.
Okay, so Jason, my question for you is, if you could choose between a luxurious vacation or a rustic vacation in the middle of nowhere, which would you pick? Where would you go and why?
This is a very easy question for me, whether I choose a luxury vacation or a rustic vacation in the middle of nowhere. Every single day of the year, I would choose a rustic vacation. I love those types of vacations. One of the best vacations I went to was Nicaragua. A few buddies of mine, we went surfing out in the middle of nowhere. We had a guide that had a tour us around, and we had to be careful where we ate. But that was the best vacation ever. We could do what we wanted. We would surf one day. The next day, we would go fishing. We would go hiking in the jungle the next day. We would have to pay off the guerrilla warfare people when we had to get past the base to go surfing. So, I mean, all that is things that we just wouldn't see here. We wouldn't see on a luxurious vacation in some tourist destination. So my wife and I, we kind of struggle at this. You know, I want to go back to Nicaragua with some friends. I actually wanted to bring the family this time. She's like, you are not going to bring my kids to some third world country. I'm like, well, wait a second. We're going to Minnesota next month. Isn't that pretty much a third world country right now? My wife's from Minnesota. So we kind of had this little odd where, hey, I want to do this vacation. She would rather be the luxurious vacation. So a lot of times we kind of meet in the middle, or she lets me go off with my friends for a few weeks, and then we do the family thing, the Disney thing, or luxurious vacation a little bit later. But to answer your question, rustic all day long. I love those types of excursions and seeing the world and seeing how people live a little bit differently, seeing how, you know, there's a community, a town, very small. They live in shacks, and there's one well for them to get water, and they have to walk like a mile down into that well, get their water, put it on their heads, go back. They're siphoning electricity from the pole. So a lot of times their electricity would go out just because they're popping transformers left and right because they're having to steal electricity from the poles. It's cool to see the way other people live besides we live here. So I'm going to wrap it up. That was my answer. So thank you, Aaron.
Great answer, Jason. Thank you. Very interesting. So you get to select the next speaker, and I think we're running low on speakers.
Is there anybody that hasn't gone?
Elizabeth? Has Elizabeth
Right.
gone?
Elizabeth.
Okay, I think Elizabeth, you're the only one that I don't see in my screen. I don't have the full
It's
screen view.
because I'm a timer.
And I can time.
Oh, that's why I don't see you.
I'll-
Okay,
I'll-
I got it, Scott. I have the video. I can do it. Thanks.
Okay. All right.
All right, so Elizabeth, my next question for you, if you had to pack one thing for your future vacation, what would be that one particular item and why?
I'm taking this from Scott because I concur with him. I would take a credit card that has no credit limit. Why? Because I would take a trip around the world for as long as I could, maybe a whole year. Why can I do that? Because I work from my computer now, and I can do anything on the computer anywhere as long as I have internet connection. Therefore, I would use the credit card to ensure I had the best Wi-Fi, and most likely I would buy a laptop where you can attach an attachment with multiple screens. I've been seeing this advertisement, and I really want one now when I travel, because I have a desktop with 3 monitors and I love it. The only reason why I stay home to do my work is because of the 3 monitors. If I had a laptop with multiple monitors, I most likely would be gone all the time because I could do my work anywhere with multiple screens, but I would use that credit card nonstop. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, that's great. I think everybody's gone. Do we have time? Do we want to do more, or we want to continue moving forward?
I'll put it to the group. I would be fine with doing another round, maybe another selection of questions. Another topic related to vacations. How does everyone feel about that? I think we're really good on time. We're still, it's 8:56 right now.
I like that. So Aaron, why don't you choose somebody and we'll let you choose the question and we'll do the roundabout that way. Make my job a little easier.
Yeah, right. I wasn't gonna stick it with you with the whole topics and everything. That's a great question, or a great way to do it, I think. So I'll pick somebody, I'll pose a question, and the person who answers selects the next question.
You can select
and
the
the
next
person.
person and question.
All right, let's do it that way. Thinking of somebody. All right. So I know we've talked a lot about our next vacation because that's the theme. I'm going to ask Alicia, though, a favorite past vacation and why was it her favorite vacation?
My past vacation was during the COVID. My favorite past vacation, but because I came to Missouri to see my daughter. I was very concerned about her because she was going through a difficult time. So I say, I am going. And I didn't have the vaccine. I didn't have nothing. Well, anyway, I bought first class ticket to the Midwest. That was very easy to go to Missouri in first class. So I was a little protected there with all my mask and all the things and gloves and everything. And I arrived, I couldn't hug my daughter because, we were in the middle of the pandemic, but I was here with her, helping her and everything, her son left to college and all the things. Well, anyway, I could stay here for 1 month to be with her and to go through this difficult change, etc. So that, and I returned to my house, happy to be with her, making quarantine because my husband was not going to get sick because of me. So I made quarantine and well, it was a difficult vacation, but really happy. And I was very thankful that I could make that trip. Thank you.
Okay, Alicia, you get to pick the next person. You
Yeah.
can ask them their question about anything about vacations. We're opening it up to any time.
Okay. Okay, to Megan, what are your plans for your next vacation?
My plans for my next vacation are pretty small scale. Initially, my husband and I had all these grand plans for Europe, but in light of everything that continues to go on, this year we are planning something much closer. One thing I'm really embarrassed about, I've lived in Texas now for 4 years. I have only been to San Antonio. So one of my main goals for this year is to get further afield, check out some different places. I would really like to go to Austin, maybe Dallas. I don't really know what's up there, Grassy Knoll, but it seems worthwhile, interesting to check out. Any place I've never been is always something interesting to me. The other plan that we have is we are hoping later in the fall to get back to New Orleans because it is one of our favorite places to go, just to hang out and experience the food and the people and the music and the whole culture. And we really enjoyed ourselves the last time that we were there, but we really want to wait until things are open. You can't go to New Orleans when everything is under the restrictions that we currently have, and really enjoy the city the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. The way I'm envisioning it in my head is like going to New York City and having to wear your mask everywhere and just be constantly paranoid and vigilant. So hopefully by this fall, I think things will be in a place where we can start to really travel places again and really enjoy the spirit of the place itself. Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Jason, what is either the best souvenir that, or the most meaningful souvenir that you have brought home, or the most meaningful souvenir that someone else has gifted to you?
Okay. The best souvenir I brought home, it actually is still sitting on my mantle. It's one time when, again, I went to one of these places. I went to Costa Rica with friends and family. And out of driftwood, there was this, it's like a wave and a little surfer guy kind of out of a tree thing, but it's actually a really cool piece of art. My wife saw it, and typically I wouldn't have paid for a piece of driftwood and a carving. I just thought it looked really cool. And my wife's like, you should buy that thing. I'm like, it's a little bit of money. I don't want to buy it. She's like, and so we left. And now, unbeknown to me, she actually went back and she ended up buying that piece of art for me, and we brought it back. So that was probably the coolest thing. The fact that it's still sitting on our mantle all these years. Sometimes I walk by it and I almost forget about it. And I see it. It kind of remember the time when, yeah, I saw that piece of art, and I probably wouldn't have spent that money on myself, but it's actually pretty cool that my wife went back and actually purchased that piece for me. So something I always remember a little bit. So thank you. I will go next. I will choose Alicia.
Okay, now she went. She was
Oh,
the
did she go?
first.
Okay. Okay.
She was
All
the
right. I know she gone twice already.
first one in
Sorry.
round number 2. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So Scott, I'll choose you.
Okay.
Your past vacation. What was your favorite past vacation and why?
My past vacation that was my favorite, my wife and I took a trip up to Yellowstone National Park. And this was in 1999, right before we went overseas to go to India. And one of the things about this vacation that made it unique is that I quit my job. She quit her job. We both graduated from school. We were footloose and fancy free, didn't have a home, didn't have any debt, didn't have any kids. And one of the ironies is that I had been in a wreck and totaled my truck just a couple of months before. And I was really looking forward to going to Yellowstone in my little pickup truck, 4-wheel drive Toyota. Needless to say, we ended up driving in her grandmother's car, an old Thunderbird, but it was a trip of a lifetime. We camped along the way. We visited with friends and family. We went to Yellowstone. We saw friends. We got to drive to the mountains. We got to take our time. We were gone for a couple of weeks. We camped. We lived cheaply, if you will. We got to see a lot of different things. We got to go to Colorado. We got to drive around Wyoming. We got to go to Old Faithful. We got to go to the Old Faithful Lodge. We got to go up to Mammoth Hot Springs up in Yellowstone. We got to go to Gardner. We got to go out the northeast entrance of Yellowstone toward Cook City. We got to go up Grizzly Bear Pass. We got to go up to Electric Peak, which is about 11,000 feet, and all kinds of short little flowers way up there in the flora and the grass way up there, 11,000 feet. And it was the trip of a lifetime. We were in between jobs, so we didn't have the stress of the former job. We didn't have the stress of the future job. We had something to look forward to in the future job. And despite the fact that I lost my pickup truck in a wreck, we had the satisfaction of knowing that we were together, we were healthy, we were out of debt, and we had time on our side. And it was a very memorable experience, that trip to Yellowstone National Park back in 1999. Thank you very much.
So you pick the next person, Scott, and the next question.
Appreciate that. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, let's go to Elizabeth. And I've already had my question pre-written. The question is, with respect to a past vacation that you took, what was one of your favorite memories and why?
I love this question, Scott. My favorite past memory is with my daughter, who had just turned 16, just received her driver's license, and I took a month off for us to spend time together. I rented a convertible car for 1 month, and we drove from Houston, Texas to St. George, Utah. I booked a 1 week, a 7-day mother-daughter hiking trip at a resort where you hike 3 hours every morning. You wake up at 5. There's 3 vans waiting for you, beginner, intermediate, and advanced hiking van. Depending on which van you go into, that takes you to your destiny in the mountain. And you did this for 7 days. And when you returned, you would have breakfast and exercise, from water aerobics to Tai Chi, all vegan meals for 7 days. I dropped 12 pounds in 7 days. It was great. My daughter and I had so much fun doing this hiking vacation. The last day we zip lined at the tallest peak in St. George, Utah. We have our videos, and we drove back to Houston. We would stop in places, random places such as New Mexico, Las Vegas. We saw the Hoover Dam. We had so much fun. We have so many memories of spending 1 month together. We have so many inside jokes. I would highly recommend taking a vacation with your children, and if you can, one at a time, which I started doing. So then I did it again with my oldest son and then my youngest son. And I've been able to make lifetime memories with all 3 of my children by taking 1 month off vacationing with them. And I look forward to doing it with my grandchildren as they get older. Thank you. Back to you. I'm
Okay,
going to
Elizabeth.
call on Aaron. You haven't gone a second round. I'm looking at my notes.
I have not.
Okay, so do I get to ask the question?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
ready.
If you knew what you know now from the COVID pandemic, what would have been a vacation that you wish you would have taken before COVID, and why?
It's a really good question. I need a second to think about that one. What would be the vacation I would take prior to COVID, knowing what I know now about COVID? Is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I would have gone to Michigan to see my family again earlier. The last time I went to Michigan was 2016. That was my favorite vacation with my family. That's been the best vacation that we've had. I don't even know if it's we've had. I think maybe I have had. It was a great time. Saw family. Got a chance to stay at my aunt and uncle's lake house. And he gave us access to his boats, his kayaks. It was just a great time. A small little town in northern Michigan, and had a great time then. And we haven't been back to Michigan since then. And that's one thing that we've been trying to do, is get back to Michigan. We were planning actually to do it before COVID happened, we were talking about doing it this year, this summer, but my uncle's lake house got booked because they rented out to other folks over the summer. And because of the winter storm, we had a pipe break in our house, so we didn't have the money then to go to Michigan. So it's either Colorado or South Carolina. That's what's coming back. So I would have liked to have gone to Michigan, knowing what I know now prior to COVID. Great question. Thanks, Elizabeth. I had to dig on that one. So I think I was the last one to wrap up round 2. We're about where I should be coming back in after table topics at 9:13. And because I am a schedule keeper, I will stay on schedule if that's okay with everybody. So that would mean for me, I would need to call on Elizabeth for timing reports on all the table topics. I guess you're very busy today.
Yeah.
Table topics, since that's all we did.
Okay. The first round, Aaron, you qualified at 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Megan, 1 minute, 57 seconds. Scott, 1 minute, 54 seconds. Alicia, 1 minute, 59 seconds. Jason, 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Elizabeth, 1 minute, 26 seconds. Second round, Alicia, 1 minute, 49 seconds. Megan, 1 minute, 49 seconds. Jason, 1 minute, 13 seconds. Scott, 1 minute, 59 seconds. Elizabeth, 2 minute, 24 seconds. Aaron, 1 minute, 52 seconds. We all qualified both rounds. Back to you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. All right, so we got the table topics, we got the timers done. We'll go to let's go to Megan for grammarian and the counter. We'll start wrapping it up and just kind of pulling it all together, I think. And then we'll see how much time we got at the end.
Thank you, Toastmaster Peshik. So today, everyone did really great, especially considering we did only table topics today. For the counter, Alicia, you had 2. I had 2. Aaron, I caught 1 double clutch. That was it. Everyone, great job to everyone. For the word of the day, Scott swept it up 3 times. He managed to use the word of the day. Alicia used it 1 time. So very good. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Megan. Just going back to see if we have any more. Do we do ballots on the table topics? We do.
Yes. No.
Do
Well,
votes on it?
I'm ready to do it right now if you'd like.
Awesome. Gonna break it up into rounds.
Yes, I've got the questions ready. In fact, let's see how this works. I have 2 consecutive questions. Let's see if it works. So you should see best table topic speaker round number 1, and then you should see another question for round number 2. Let's see what happens. Go ahead and vote for your favorite speaker in round number 1.
Yeah, that came up for me.
Okay, good. And I don't get the vote. So that's why it's 5. Okay, 5 of 5. Now I'm going to end the polling, but I'm also going to, let me put down the note for this, okay? And then let me launch poll number 2, okay? Hold on just a second. Let me write down the winner. All right. Now let's go to round number 2. Let me end polling. Let's see. Now let me relaunch it. Let's see what happens. Okay, no, don't do that. Hold on. All right. Looks like I have to, give me just a second. Give me just a second. Let me figure out how to launch the second poll. Hold on just a second. I think I see it. Okay, now we've done round number 1. Here is round number 2. And again, I do not have a vote, so it's just you 5. Okay. The polling is over. I will end it. That is it. I do have the results for both of the table topics rounds whenever you're ready. Aaron, you want me to announce it now?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. You can announce them both.
Okay, so the winner of round number 1 was Jason.
All right.
Congratulations, Jason.
Congratulations, Jason.
The winner of round number 2 was Elizabeth. Congratulations, Elizabeth, for round number 2. Back to you, Toastmaster, Aaron.
All right. Thank you, Scott. All right. I'm just going back through the agenda, just making sure I didn't miss anything. I don't see anything that I missed. We still have, we're at 9:17, we still have 13 minutes left.
I think the general evaluator.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. So Alicia, general evaluator.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Okay, the meeting today was a different meeting, but I am always surprised how creative, flexible, and resourceful our meeting is. So we choose a different path this time about table topics, and we were able, everyone, to talk about a happy topic in this time of our life, that is overcoming a pandemic, and what are your plans, and what are our treasure thing that we can share with our fellow Toastmasters. The meeting started on time. The presiding officer was Scott, was very organized as always. Everyone introduced him or herself, so everybody knew who is who, and then the meeting started with our presentation, 2 rounds of presentations. So it was very rich, very moving, this meeting. The report from grammarian was very good. The same about the counter, the timer. Everybody make a very good report. And well, we are on time in everything. So it was a very good and excellent meeting. Thank you very much to everybody. And I am back to the Toastmaster.
Thanks, Alicia. Thanks for the summary there and the overview of the meeting for today. So congratulations to Jason and Elizabeth for best table topics, best rounds. And for closing comments, I just want to say that for personally, I just want to say I'm sorry to everybody. I know I've been out of the mix a lot, had a lot of work, a big work project that really consumed a lot of my time. That's concluded, so hopefully to be more involved with Toastmaster functions as I can. But just wanted to acknowledge that, and thanks everybody for being here today. Let's turn it back over to Scott. Is there anything else you want to take it from here?
Yes, and we will conclude in just a couple of minutes. Just a couple of reminders. Our next officers meeting will be on Tuesday, May the 11th. I'll send out a reminder. It starts at 8 in the morning. We'll be over by 9. One of the things too is that Elizabeth is launching an event. I believe it's called Speech Crafters. And Elizabeth, I did not give you a forewarning that I was going to ask you about Speech Crafter, but we've got a few minutes left over. Are you prepared to give us just a little summary about Speech Crafter, why you're doing it, what it means for our club, and more importantly, what it means for prospective members of Toastmasters who may go through Speechcraft, or would you please go ahead?
Yes, absolutely. So Speechcraft is a digital platform that Toastmasters just rolled out. And if you're not familiar with what Speechcraft is, it started as a in-person section for those who want to get their Distinguished Toastmaster award, and it's called a DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. Scott, if you can disable or enable my screen sharing, I have a flyer I wanted to share.
Okay, go ahead. Please try.
So
Try
it's
again.
okay. So Speechcraft is a program that allows you to conduct an event to help you in your Distinguished Toastmaster. It's a very long process, and one of the options is to do a Speechcraft. And when you do the Speechcraft, it's now a digital bundle. It does cost money, and you immediately get all the downloads. You have the option as the coordinator to double up by having 4 sessions, or doing what is preferred and suggested 8 sessions. And you can do it once a week. You can have it every other day. It's really up to the coordinator how they want to do it. But what it is it's normally about an hour long. It's also up to the coordinator to decide how many minutes, and the minimum time is a 45-minute session. I chose to do 8 sessions at 45 minutes every other day. Therefore, this Speechcraft will be over with in 2.5 weeks. What is the benefit for a person to do it? That person is called a Speechcrafter. You can have up to 5 people per Speechcraft digital bundle, and the coordinator will host and lead the 45-minute session. It's very similar to a Toastmasters meeting, but the benefit is for each of the 5 Speechcrafters to do a different speech beginning on the second of the 8 sessions. The first session is getting to know everyone and explaining the program. They have their own portal the minute they sign up. It is very similar to Pathways. It is a Speechcraft portal through Pathways, where they will give 7 speeches. And once they are finished, it equates to completing a level 1 in a pathway, 2 electives in level 3, and another speech as well, counting towards a pathway. They will be members of League City Toastmasters, and they'll come in as a new member already completed with a level 1 in Pathways. And this is a flyer that I am given when you download the Speechcraft. It's really nice to share when you're trying to market the Speechcraft. We have already signed up 2 people. I'm about to put that into the system. Scott and Megan have offered to donate their time during a few of the Speechcraft sessions. It starts May 3rd. It's the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1:15 to 2 o'clock. And I need volunteers as table topic masters or general evaluators. You don't need to show up to the Speechcraft, but if you can, that would be great. That way it allows the Speechcrafter to see more than 1 member, and for also the League City members to get to know our new club members. It's a very exciting new method instead of face-to-face, this new digital portal, and it's really nice. The agendas are already made. If you're interested in volunteering 45 minutes of your time during one of the 8 or all of them, let me know. It starts May 3rd, and it is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 2.5 weeks from 1:15 to 2 p.m. Back to you, Scott.
And just a few cleanup details, if you will. My understanding is that the intended audience are prospective members of League City Toastmasters. In other words, the members, they can do this stuff through Pathways, but you're providing this opportunity for people who are not yet in Toastmasters to learn about Toastmasters, to go through Speechcraft, and in so doing, they make speeches, they finish levels, they pay their dues, they become a member of Toastmasters and League City Toastmasters. And it's a way not only to introduce them to Toastmasters, but get them up to speed and to get them into Toastmasters. Isn't that right, Elizabeth?
Right. It is really up to the coordinator how they want to package it. I chose to package the price point to where it includes 6-month membership into League City.
And yes, and 2 quick questions. What does that cost, please? And how do people sign up?
So it's $75.83 for 8 sessions of the Speechcraft. A Toastmaster is allowed to charge up to 1-year membership, which is $90 per person. I chose not to do that. I chose to do a 6-month membership. And then the extra $10.83 is the $54.13 divided by 5. So I could recoup my $54.13. When you're a Toastmaster, you're not allowed to make a profit on Speechcraft. What you can do is recoup your costs. And that's anything from printing to marketing to advertising to the cost of Speechcraft. I'm not charging for any marketing or printing. I just want the $54.13 recoup and the 6-month membership to try to make it the least expensive way as possible, but also to add 5 new members to our club. And what was your other question? Oh, how to sign up? You would just email me, toastmasterruiz@gmail.com, and I would send you a link to pay for it. You would pay for it through Venmo, or I can type in your credit card information online. And then the minute you're registered, I send you a Speechcraft link where you create your profile, just like we do in Pathways.
Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap it up. In fact, Megan said she's got to go. Bye, Megan. So it's about $75. If you know someone who's not a member of Toastmasters, this is a great way for them to learn about Toastmasters. Whether they stay in Toastmasters or not, we still get the credit for them to become a member of Toastmasters, which helps us become a distinguished club. But if someone likes it and they stay in Toastmasters, obviously that's a win for them. It's a win for us. If you know someone that may be interested, there are 3 slots available. You can talk to your friend, talk to a colleague at work. If they're interested, you send their name to Elizabeth. Elizabeth will send them the information. And if they want to sign up, away we go. With that, I'd like to conclude so we finish a tad bit early. It's been a great meeting. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks on April the 30th. And in the meantime, have a great week and we'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Oh, thank you. You too.